Songs were very unusual songs. They were melodically very unusual, lyrically very unusual, and the presentation just generally had a kind of a, you know those. Occasionally you see an artist and you think to yourself, yes, he has a magic. There's a magic about this performer, and sometimes you're not really sure what that magic is. You just feel it, And I think that was what it was. I think it was it was an indefinable something about David Bowie that made him special. It was the way he talked. It was the way he moved. It was the way he sang. It was the way he just generally carried himself as a person. You felt that you were really in the presence of somebody that was special, somebody that was unique. And those kind of things, which you can't actually put them in words. And, and when you feel that about somebody, you have to get involved. I mean, if you have any creativity in you yourself, and you can see past that, then you have to be involved. And that's all I can say, because obviously a lot of people at Decca felt that way about him. His manager felt that way about him. Gus felt that way about him. And we were right, because look what's happened. He's become one of the great, mega stars of the industry. And he's still, to this day, he still has that same amazing aura and that amazing quality about him. Whatever he does and wherever he goes, and whatever his appearance may be in the Ziggy Stardust period and all the rest, and even the current period where he's almost gone back the 20 years to when he was Paul Jones and the King Bees, or whatever the name of the band was, doing nothing but sort of, early Stax sort of soul type stuff, with wearing the sort of the lame suit, he still has an incredible aura about him. He still commands. You have to pay attention. You cannot ignore him, And that's the sign of an amazing artist. And now, of course, he's branched out into the movie world. And I've no doubt that this movie will be an enormous success. It wouldn't surprise me to find that he wins Oscars and stuff as well. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. He's just one of those people. He has that certain something, that most of everybody else in the world wishes they even had a little bit of. It's unique.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. 7, 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. Control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way, and the stars look very different today, for here am I sitting in a tin can.
David Bowie met Space Oddity uit de Engelse top 5 van september 1969. Het nummer zou in Engeland in november 1975 opnieuw in de top 10 terechtkomen. Tussen 1969 en 1976 had David Bowie alleen al in Engeland meer dan 15 hits. In de jaren 80 nam zijn carrière een nieuwe wending toen hij ging acteren.
In July 1977, I was in my apartment in New York and the phone went and the voice came on, "Hello, it's Brian. I'm here in Berlin with David. Hang on, I'll pass you over." So then, "Hello, it's David," and such, who I'd met in 1972. We spent the evening together. And the characters, the team, work on what became Heroes. And they'd reached a kind of halt on the album and they needed some input from someone or something. And David, Mr. B, said, would I be interested in playing guitar? And I said, well, I haven't played guitar for 3 years. I don't know how I'm playing. And he said, do you think you can play some hairy rock and roll?
Hairy rock and roll.
Hairy rock and roll. And I said, I wasn't sure, but if they would like to take a risk, then I'd give them my time. And I flew out on Tuesday, landed in Berlin, quite bleary, tired, had no idea quite what time zone I was in, went to the hotel, collapsed, went to the studio, no idea quite where I was, went to the studio and said, perhaps you'd like to play me something that you've been doing. So they said, why don't you plug in and play while you listen to it? And this is how it happened. So the very first piece I played was Beauty and the Beast. And the guitar part on there was my response to it, hearing it for the first time.
Yeah.
And this was it, a very spontaneous response to everything that was happening. And I think still my favourite from what is the beginning of the modern period. All the music we've heard up to now has essentially been history. From this point on, it's now part of, I think, the modern. It sounds modern to me, and this is Heroes.
Yeah.